Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. So we've already seen two generations of chocolate-inspired Bluetooth speakers, and we're now going to see our third. This is by Meidong as well, and it sells on Amazon for under $30. In my opinion, it loses some of the charm of the original version, which we checked out a few months back, that has a very chocolatey look, both with the buttons on the top as well as the color scheme. This one goes for a more generic silver accented look that is not as distinguishable from other Bluetooth speakers, but it still keeps the name because the shape is like a chocolate bar and it has the size of almost like a brick. It's very portable and it uses Bluetooth version 4.1. It has a 2200 milliamp hour battery, which will last you for about 8 hours of continuous audio playback before you need to recharge it. It also features a built-in microphone, so you can use it for speakerphone and conference calls once you link it to an Android or iOS device. So it's called, again, the QQChocolate, and again, some info on the back here. This is just the Bluetooth version. There's another Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth version, which is being marketed and created as well. 8 watts for the dual drivers. So it is a stereo speaker, just like the previous versions that we've seen. That makes it ideal for watching movies in addition to blasting out a bit of extra sound and oomph. So here's a user guide. There's also a micro USB cable like before for charging. It takes about 2 hours to completely charge. And there's also an auxiliary cable if you don't want to use Bluetooth when connecting to an audio source like an MP3 player. First thing I noticed about the design of the speaker when I picked it up was just how small it is. In fact, it's about 2 times smaller than the similar iChocolate mini Bluetooth speaker and the Cohen chocolate Bluetooth speaker that we've seen in the past, all manufactured by the same company. But really, this is a petite and tiny speaker. If I put it next to a phone here, you get a bit of a size comparison difference. It can be hidden with almost one hand. It makes it a lot easier to travel with, but at the same time, it does not produce as loud of a volume. Construction quality here is still quite good, though. There's rubber materials and accents in addition to aluminum wrapping around the bands of the speaker, and there's also soft touch rubber that prevents it from sliding around on a surface or a desk. On the very back, you have access to this rubber panel that contains all the ports. There's also a micro SD card slot, which allows me to pop in a card loaded with tunes already, and it acts as an MP3 player and will play back those songs without any problem. There's also the auxiliary port, and that's essentially it. This speaker itself is light, water, and rainproof. It's not fully submergible underwater, so that's something to point out, but it's good enough to take to the beach and it should survive day-to-day usage, despite not being an extremely rugged design. On the very top, you have access to oversized controls for all the things, including volume keys, play, pause. I can also skip tracks, and I can hold on this to answer or reject a phone call. Just like on the iChocolate that we saw by Cohen, there's also LED indicators for when Bluetooth is on, the microphone, and this will glow and flash when you're in the pairing mode. There isn't NFC on board for this particular model, but pairing is still simple enough. Just turn it on, tap on it for a few seconds, open up Bluetooth on your phone, and you should be ready to go. Next, I'm going to do a quick audio test. Hopefully that gave you guys a better idea of what the audio experience is like. I would say it's pretty good. It gets quite loud, although the bass isn't quite as strong as I think it could be on a Bluetooth speaker, especially when compared to its larger original QQ iChocolate and the Cohen iChocolate that we've both checked out. Both of those have a bit more of extra thump, maybe because there's a larger passive radiator for the bass. On here, it's still present. You can hear the bass drop, but it's not nearly as strong. Definitely better than any smartphone speaker that you'll find, and good enough to fill up rooms with space. A lot louder than you would think just by looking at its size. But overall, I would say that it's not anything extraordinary. It's certainly good enough for pop music, electronic music, good enough for speakerphone calls. The microphone is loud and clean and crisp sounding. With that being said, if you're an audiophile looking for a hi-fi grade speaker, again, this is probably not it. Although if you're looking for a relatively petite as well as interesting looking speaker that is affordable but also good enough and will improve the audio experience compared to what you find on a smartphone or a laptop or even a tablet, this is a good option to check out. You can learn more details about this in our upcoming official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the QQChocolate Generation 2 Mini Bluetooth speaker.